Director. I think we've taken the fifth one. And so, Mr. Speaker may answer the 5 questions with Kwekubo Faz on web. Mr. Speaker.
Well, you're talking about the same matter using different words. But that is before the Supreme Court. And I've given instructions to my lawyers to handle that. So that is not a matter for me to comment on. My lawyers are handling that. So all questions we're dealing with those issues before the court will allow the court to handle that. What I would draw your attention to is that the practice and procedure of Parliament is unknown to many, including the court. And anything I do on the floor, I refer to the standing orders. The courts can declare the standing orders as unconstitutional or unlawful or whatever. Until that is done, as the presiding officer, I'm bound in practice apply those rules. And that is what we did. That is why in my statement, I drew your attention to the fact that what I did on the floor was just share. And by the standing orders, I have options. Could have set up a committee to go through it and submit a report. That report could even lead to legislation. Or I could go and inquire into it myself and then come and inform the House of my findings. That is in the standing orders. In our parliamentary practice, you don't make ruling when statements are made. It was debatable. And because of its importance, I had to give room for many more members to comment. Just inquire into it, come and share with the House in the form of information what your findings revealed. And that was all what I did. I did not make any order. Go and read the proceedings. I did not make any order. And for my friend, a veritable Honorable H.A. Mensah Bonsu, I'm sure he showed you the evidence where we had that discussion. He disagreed. And I supported him, and now I have made a U-turn. I thought you should have asked him when my predecessor made the ruling, whether his side disagreed with him and allowed the same member, who is now second deputy speaker, to continue to sit, or his seat was vacated. Did they agree with him or disagree with him? You should have asked him. So that one, you need to produce evidence to show that this is what happened. I don't know where we sat and held a discussion, or it's on disagreed with my predecessor. That is for you to make your findings on. And what's the last question? I answered all. Yes. That's it.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. We'll take 2 more tranches and then we'll be done. We're doing well so far. The Director of Media Relations is still going around with the microphones.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. You said the President and the Judiciary have sinned against the... My name is Hon Alban S.K. I work with Adom FM and Adom TV. Now you said that the things or the acts they have done that will constitute, in your opinion, sin against the Constitution.
Good afternoon, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Nia Yukuoka. I work for City FM and Channel 1 TV. Now, Article 112, Clause 3 of the Constitution, as well as the Standing Orders 53, have been invoked by the NPP caucus for the 3rd time this year, whenever you adjourn the House indefinitely. Now, we want to find out, is this an abuse of that provision, and what has been its impact on other legislative processes? Thank you.
My name is Emmanuel Akoli of Peace FM. Speaker, a number of people have described this 8th Parliament as being and what is happening currently. Mr. Speaker, how do you see this Parliament? Are you proud of the 8th Parliament? Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker. My name is Kwabena Efrain Martin. I report for Original TV and Original FM. Mr. Speaker, I would like to know what influenced your decision of adjourning Parliament sine die the last time we had our sittings, and what will be your decision if the same situation which happened the last sittings continue tomorrow?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My name is Clement Akolo. I report for Parliament News 360. I also double as the Communication Officer for Parliamentary Network Africa. Mr. Speaker, you mentioned that both the President and the Judiciary have sinned. And when you look at Article 122 of the Constitution, it talks about contempt of Parliament. So if they have sinned, do they fall far of the contempt of Parliament, and what are you going to do about it? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ben. I think that's the 5th question for this tranche. I get the feeling that this could be the last one. Am I right, colleagues? Mr. Speaker, with your kind permission, if you may answer the 5 questions that have been referred to.
Two of you raised a question about the sinning of the President and the Judiciary. Please go through the Constitution or the laws of Ghana. There is nowhere where the President can refuse to receive a bill passed by Parliament. In fact, the crafters of the Constitution are so careful that they even took away veto power from the President. So in Ghana, our President cannot veto a bill passed by Parliament. It's clear in the Constitution that the President will receive the bill passed by Parliament. If he has concerns, he will communicate to Parliament that I have concerns on this bill that you have passed within 7 days. Then he has 14 days to put across those concerns back to Parliament. And Parliament is called upon to reconsider the bill, taking his inputs into consideration. That is what is in the Constitution and the laws of Ghana. So if the president refuses to even receive the bill, what has he done to the Constitution? You understand? 2, in the Constitution, the president is permitted to refer the bill to the Council of State for advice. He didn't even do that. So the term I even used is very mild. In the case of the judiciary, a bill is a bill. It's not law. It's just a bill. This is a draft that is being discussed. The judiciary is going to do what? Be part of the law-making process. Tell us what to do in the bill. It's only when it's passed and assented to by the president, then it becomes law, that the judiciary can come in to interpret and enforce. There's nothing like that. And this is something that immediately, with supersonic speed, it should have been jettisoned, not entertained at all by the court. Now, what it means is that anytime any bill is before us, and we are working on it at this stage, anybody can just take it to the courts. And that will mean that Parliament will have to stop and wait until the final determination of what? What are they to determine? Please. We are doing this for Ghana, and not for only today's generation. For generations yet unborn. That gives certainty to everybody. That is the rule of law that prevails, not of man or the rule by law. The two are not the same. When you rule by law, people are not certain of the law. And so even investors run away. And as a leader for so many years, from 2001, I've been a leader. I can mention so many serious investors who say they will not invest in Ghana because of uncertainty of the law. And then the courts and the system cannot tell you what the law is. And they lose a lot. So when you talk about unemployment, underdevelopment, and the rest, now who caused them? Leadership, I believe strongly, is cause. Everything else is effect. Even though followers matter. Of the president, when in his inaugural speech, he talked about us being citizens, are now more spectators than citizens. I think you have to wake up. I don't have any ill will or malice. Please, that one, I can assure you, I'll go and relax. And my holy village is where I take the decisions and I'm responsible. Nobody else but me. That's why I started with my oath. I swore the oath. And at the end of the day, when I'm to account for my life to my Creator, nobody is to do that with me. I'll be alone. And I'll be there. Those of you who will come later. Because I believe in life after death. In fact, we are even told that place is better than here. So I have no problem with dying. I'm always prepared anytime to die. But you will come after that. And you will come and meet me there. Eh? I'll tell you what seniority means.
The Right Honorable Speaker shall live to tell of the good works of the Lord.
Hey, there's one on...
oh, okay. I have indications that there are some two critical questions, so
yeah,
maybe after that, yes, then we can quickly go away.
Oh, recall. I can't say it's an abuse. The Constitution permits them to do what they do. It's just that, please, don't only think about today. Also think about tomorrow when you are doing some of these things. And for me, as I sit here, I thought the focus of those in government shall be about government business, not even the position they occupy. Which is more important? It's government business. And for the position you occupy, if you work well, you may even get a higher position. Eh? It's the good people of Ghana who will decide. So I'm surprised that some people are focused on that one. But tomorrow, you will hear from me. So far, it's transformatory. In fact, this is a parliament. I've been from the 1st to the 8th. The 1st was foundational. And the late Right Honorable Justice Daniel Annan had to use all his experience and wisdom to establish the parliament. And so he started by transforming the rules that we inherited from the 79 to 81 parliament. That's the Third Republic. And also putting the structures and personnel in place, creating the opportunity for further training, education, and the rest. He did that. The second parliament led by the second speaker, I should say.
Second speaker, third parliament.
To strengthen the institution of parliament. And you recall sometimes he had some rough edges with the president. No wonder he lasted for 4 years only. The fourth was trying to stabilize the third speaker. And that was Right Honorable Ebenezer Sechi Hughes. I worked with all of them. The fifth came, and that was Bamford, course on the rule. My deputy leader, so he uses my deputy leader so he used his experience, particularly their dealings at the parliament, and then our professor came, who in the 1990s used to come to the workshop of parliament. University of Ghana is in the house. And as he came, University of Ghana is in the house. And as he came speaker, sit down and just put the question. And you are sure the eyes have it. And so most of the time, there is no day that I will go and preside without calling the leaders to my lobby, for us to go through the agenda of the day, which is usually captured on what? The order paper, yellow. This is what is on the paper, cut from the business statement. How do we handle it? Then the leaders will tell me those that they agree, those that they disagree. Even when they disagree, how do we handle it? We discuss all that. Okay, how many from each side of the house? We discuss that. How many minutes per person? We discuss that. Then I just come to preside and enforce what we have discussed. That is why it's difficult for us to be sitting at 10. Because sometimes I have to get them to make sure that there's some peace before we go out there. This is what we do on a daily basis. I just don't come and preside and impose my ideas. Even when it goes to voting, we agree. We will oppose. If you give ayes during the voice vote, we will challenge your decision. We will count hairs. We will do secret voting. We will not allow public voting. We discuss all this. And so even so, the discussion at that period, when leaders go on air and go and reveal those conclave confidential information, what is that meant to achieve? I should not invite them to discuss things with them again. And what will happen on the floor? In spite of all that, for 4 good years, people are still not appreciative. And I am the target. Hey, this is my God. Hey, he's a living God. Oh. So please.
Mr. Speaker, we are live on GH1, GBC.
Oh, you are live.
And I would crave your indulgence that we take, I've seen some crucial questions that I think must be asked so that we can round up, so that they don't surcharge us for spending too much of their live airtime. And so we'll take the final tranche of questions and then we will bring proceedings to a close. Very quickly, name, media house, question, no preamble. And
thank you very much. My name is Ernest Kofiedu. I work with the Daily Guide newspaper. Right Honorable Speaker, at the last agenda date, you said that because of the issue of composition and that of the fact that Parliament had the correct number to do business, but didn't have the correct number to undertake decision, you are recalling the House tomorrow. can you tell us whether these issues have been addressed and whether there has been meeting between yourself and the leadership of the House such that tomorrow's call will also not degenerate into that?
Mr. Speaker, good afternoon. My name is Prince Asari from Pen TV. In your speech, you just said that the Supreme Court to deal with conflicts that happen in the House, and you believe that that wouldn't help. Now we are having a conflict now, and I want to know that you have been doing this for many years. So how can
my name is Isaac Ando, a freelance journalist, internally through dialogue and compromises.
We are around, we can, no Jara questions, but I must also indicate that, Mr. Speaker, that TV, GH1 TV, and I think is it TV? They're all live. So today's be one of the days that we've had the most live coverage.
I'm extremely grateful to the media for this coverage. Yes. Without the media, we wouldn't have gone this far. So, congratulations. We can always disagree, but once we have agreed to disagree as part of our life, it's permitted. There's no problem with that. Please, as to what will happen tomorrow. I don't see the young man again. Oh, you are the ones, friends. After you walked out. And would they, even if they did, would they not go and raise an issue about quorum to take decision? So that was option. I could have decided to adjourn till the next day. But knowing the nature, one night, no. Because I've seen that the nature of the disagreement goes beyond the House to the powers outside the House. And so we need to engage many more people to be able to resolve the disagreement. So you need more time. And since I couldn't estimate the time, I decided Parliament could be recalled. If people were mindful that there's some agency for it to resolve it, they would have come together faster for us to talk, negotiate things, resolve it, and come back. But I tell you, apart from some senior citizens, patrons of the country, who actually got in touch, the MPP members have not gotten in touch with me. They haven't. My good friend Oseche Mensah Bonsu spoke to me because he wasn't even around when this thing happened. And we discussed this and I threw more light on it. And he said, oh, he didn't know before granting interviews. He said those things, but now he can also say I should bring my official report, you know. So, and so I don't know what will happen tomorrow. Understand? And so that is the situation now. The last question. Proposal. Well, am I now to propose it to you and Ghanaians? Or I should have been making the proposals to the parties so that they can be negotiating and compromising? I think that's the best way to do. And I'm expecting to get in touch with me, I think was Apostle Nyamiche and the boss of the Christ Apostolic Church. They were the first to come to express concern and had a lengthy discussion, you know. Then later, the delegation of the council of state also came to meet me in their office. And when I explained all the situation to them, in fact, many of them told them and said they could cross-check from the proceedings or other things. They were really surprised because they didn't know that was what took place. There was so much misinformation. The judgment of the court will set a lot of precedents. But don't forget, the law is that the Supreme Court can always differ from its end. So for a purpose, I can give a judgment and ruling. I disagree with that, and that is permitted by law. So when you tell me that, it means that the Supreme Court is supreme. And so when it orders, I must obey. I'm a lawyer by profession. And the first time I appeared in the Supreme Court was 1983. Going there now we're born, but it's okay. The last one is when I was young, I think there was some song, it's too late to say that when I needed you to satisfy my soul, you turn your back and said
Now, I think we should add singer to Mr. Speaker's because the skills, but and so I think that you'd all agree with me that we've had a very fruitful good afternoon. Mr. Speaker, may I also acknowledge that Daily Graphic Online, Class FM, Channel 1 TV, Onua TV and FM, News allegh.com is grateful. As we bring proceedings to a close, Mohammed Nyagzi will give us the closing prayer. But before that, the Deputy Clerk in charge of Legislative Management, Camilo Puamang, will officially thank us, and then Mohammed will thank Allah, and then Mr. Speaker will take leave of us.
Thank you, program. Right Honorable Speaker, the leadership of the House here in present, and colleague deputy. Yes, on behalf of the Right Honorable Speaker, let me thank our friends from the media. Indicated that Ghana first. He said Ghana first. He believes in the fidelity of the. He also encouraged us that what the people of Ghana said for us is for collaboration, cooperation, and for all of us to work together to ensure that democracy succeeds. Right Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity to speak to the people of Ghana, to set the record straight, to let people understand that Parliament would continue to sit. Parliament will sit 6 January 2025. The House will say thank you to all of you for attending this important program. Thank you very much.
Also for going live.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. We pray that this important message delivered to the country will promote peace so that we can live together as a great country, which is the general elections, so that the country will remain as one united country, working together in the name of the Almighty Allah and the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والصلاة والسلام.
Coordinating Director in charge of research. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Mr. Speaker and his entourage and members of Parliament will leave first, and then the rest of us will follow. So please, let's be seated. Let's all remain seated while Mr. Speaker and the big men and women leave. Then we will follow.
afternoon and welcome to GBC News and welcome to the press conference. And for some time now, there's been a lot of headlines. Parliament dominating the headlines for some time now. And so this afternoon, the Speaker took the opportunity to address some of the issues we're hearing in the media. And so from this press conference, actually, the major issue that came out of it is the fact that Parliament will reconvene tomorrow. Correspondent here, and then we'll be having a quick chat. Hi, my brother. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Gifty.
Yes, and we've heard a lot this afternoon. Yeah. We heard a lot. But the big issue that came out of this whole press conference was the fact that the parliamentarians will be sitting tomorrow. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so I believe it's very such a media engagement. Normally what happens is that when Parliament sits on a daily basis, there's an avenue for the Speaker to communicate to the House. If he has gotten any letter from the President, whatever it is, he communicates. But it doesn't give the platform for scrutiny. It doesn't give the platform for the media to even ask questions. And it's very hard to have a serving speaker being interviewed. And so this has been a good platform, especially in the times that we are in, that we will need clarity. And if for preliminary purposes, I think the Speaker is the embodiment of the institution Parliament in Ghana's governance process. And so he addressing the press now has been very, very opportune, and we see it as a good step. Yeah.
One issue that also caught my attention was the fact that the Speaker was not too happy about the fact that a law courts, to him, they have the necessary procedures and processes to handle such issues like that.
Yes, is that Parliament is a master of its own rules, and the House is built on consensus, especially in this current dispensation. We also note that this Parliament has been one of the biggest tests to the Constitution and the fidelity of the law, because the Constitution is meant to be, the law is meant to be tested by the people.